Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy CryptoKeeper, and we are here on a TA Thursday. This is the much awaited day for a lot of you. You guys love seeing these charts, and we are bringing on the best in biz to do that for you. We have got on the podium today, we got your boy Magic Internet Money. Magic, how are we doing?
What up? Oh, living the dream, man. It's always a good day here in Kansas.
Glad to have you here, brother. We've got Crypto Blood. Blood, what's going on?
What's up, brother? Good to see you back in the swing of things, man. Let's go.
It took a second, but I'm back in the swing of things. And we got your boy Bill Noble in the house. Bill, just finishing a stream over on Crypto Noble, right? You just came straight in here, right?
Right. A couple of my guys came with me. It's always nice to be here.
That. Well, glad to have everybody. Make sure that you follow all of the creators on here. They're spending a lot of time with us for you. So the most simple thing you can do, click the little link, do a little follow action, make sure you subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's have some fun. First of all, let me just say, let me check into the chat real quick. Magic, you are in the chat. Good to see you again. Raymond, we got Bull Runner, Rinky Donk, we've got DNI in here, Richard Wright, Captain Crypto. Who else we got? Good evening. We got Jens. Good evening. Crypto Fan Chris, Ronnie. We got a whole bunch of people in here, and we've got actually a number of names that I am not used to seeing. So welcome new people. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to dive into TA. We're going to talk about legacy markets. We're going to talk about, obviously, cryptocurrency, and we'll try to have a little bit of fun while we do it. Let's take a look at the markets. Let's kick it off there, and we will run it from there. Let's see. The global crypto market cap is at, let me double check this. Let me update. Drum roll. 1.1 trillion with the T dollars. That's up 0.8%. We're going to dive into these specifics of the numbers and why they are where they are. But Bitcoin is back over 24K. We'll find out whether that's an important number or just another benign number on the scale. We got ETH 1656. That's up about 2.43%. That's good to see. BNB holding up over 300 at 309. And then rounding out the top 10, everything is pretty flat, either flat or up 0.25% or so. Dogecoin rounding out the top 10, up 0.3. Now, for those of you that don't know, legacy markets, whether you like it or not, lead the way as it relates to the crypto markets, at least for now. We are, I guess, some anxiously awaiting what we would call a decoupling of these markets. And when and if that does happen, I think we're going to see some things that we may or may not be ready for, because it's been very predictable for a long time, at least from what I've talked to a lot of the technical analysts, that hey, certain things happen over in legacy. You can count on some things happening over in the crypto space. So we're here for the crypto space, but we're going to start off with the legacy space because I think it's really important to know what's going on there because it kind of leads the way. So let's kick it off. Bill, what you got for us? You got the S&P. What are you pulling up here? Tell me what the charts are telling you.
Yeah, I got S&P and I got yield curve.
And the yield curve.
Talking about trust no one. It's right along those lines.
Love
okay,
it.
so this is probably the most overdrawn chart on Twitter, but it is interesting that there's a bunch of trend lines converging in the S&P right around S&P futures at 4,000. So if legacy could just sit still, that would be great for crypto. I love steady, even wobbly equities, but I don't like flash events. I don't like the fact that everybody is bullish a semiconductor company called NVIDIA because of AI. It makes me nervous. This makes me a little nervous and think that there's a dip. Now, on the prepper front, nobody wanted the 7-year government bond auction yesterday. Right? When you see the word tail here, that means people put in low ball bids for 7-year government bonds, and that means the government had to hit them. So there was no demand.
Expound on that a little bit, Bill. That's not a normal thing that people are going to see. Can you explain that a little bit further?
Sure. So if you ever wonder how we got $31 trillion in debt, basically the government will go to the financial system and say, we're going to issue all these bonds. We're going to do an auction. Give us a bid. Okay. So, they'll do the 2-year note, the 5-year note. They have a schedule. So they came to the 7-year note, which historically is volatile. Okay. And they said, okay, give us some bids. Right. And they got some bids and they were like, oh, wow, those are some pretty low bids.
We don't like those bids.
So, no. So the price action in these bonds was so bad that the yield on the 7-year note went above 4% and scared everybody.
Okay.
Right. Nobody wants U.S. government bonds is a scary moment. This is the yield curve.
Showing.
No bid auction. Is that what it's called, Bill?
Well, it's called a tailing auction.
Okay.
Right? I call it a no bid auction, but they say there was a big tail. It's legacy jargon, right?
Okay.
This is the yield curve, which will show you that short-term interest rates, right, are larger than long-term interest rates. So long-term minus short-term, when that thing goes negative, Michael Burry from The Big Short will tell you that every big problem in U.S. economic history started when this measure was negative. It's currently at minus 0.81, all right? And it seems to be like down only. So it's like legacy is looking for some kind of a problem, right? So basically, I would love to find a support point below the market, let whatever indigestion it is hit, hope it gets not a calamity, and then maybe pull some in. But we'll see what my colleagues have to say.
Yeah, no, and the other part of this too that we're always paying attention to is the dollar. The U.S. dollar has been the subject of a lot on this show and other shows. I'm very positive of that because some people will agree, and actually we have definitely some different thoughts on this. I know Blood and I definitely have a different thought on this, but we either are in trouble with the US dollar or we're not, and people have different opinions on that, but the dollar is something that you absolutely need to pay attention to. So there is a chart that tracks that, and I think Magic is going to pull that up. Magic, what you got? You got the Dixie pulled up?
Yeah, I got DXY for you here. We'll go ahead and kick off the chart here and get that rolling.
Oh yeah, I might need to pull
that
up.
There all good, man. I've been having connection issues, so let me know if my sound's going out for you guys because I won't have any. So I do apologize in advance. But the dollar is actually reaching a really important inflection point, both historically and locally. So this is a level that I've had marked on this chart for quite some time. I'm going to get rid of some of these boxes for now, just because they're not relevant, and we're going to go out to something like a 3-month chart.
Okay.
And I've talked about this before on my channel. You've got your 2016 and 17 high right here. That's also backed up by what I call an annual level of support. So it's really high time frame area. And you can see that over time, this blue box right here has been support and resistance and been a very key area for the dollar to be hanging out around. And ironically, it's right around $1, give or take a few pennies. So
imagine that.
It makes sense. But you can see right here, when you get these bounces, they come out of this zone. And so living above, 103.82, 103.911, that region right there, this little blue box, it looks like you're going to be coming back up to back test some old resistance, which you can see that you're running into right here. It's a 6M level, so a 6-month level for me, 104.775. And then if you were to zoom in just a little bit more, you actually have your 12M1, which is your yearly pivot. So that is another big confluence for me.
How do you use this? How do you use this practically when you're looking at the crypto markets, Magic?
Yeah. So when the dollar is bottoming out like this, I'm looking to see where Bitcoin and the SPX are at. Are they at support? Are they at resistance? In this case, it was at resistance, right? It's coming up to this 0.5 fib pull before you get to the gold pocket. And it's also coming up to like a little low time gap fill of over here. So if the dollar's rallying and everything else is hitting resistance, it's probably a good time to maybe lock in some profits, And what I mean by that is on Bitcoin, this all kind of ties together, obviously, since we're all here for crypto. You can see that I've got the range timed pretty easily here. And I'm going to get rid of this because it's a little too much. There we go. And I was looking for a peak sometime in this general window towards the second half of February, maybe 1 week into March, where we see the top of this local move coming in. And then we see maybe a reversion back to a larger range. Now, price can definitely go on like a 2019 style run, but that would mean the dollar has to be coming down and losing this blue box. So if price is getting rejected here and it comes back down and starts breaking down like this, I would expect to see these levels and then maybe even see the lows of the range again. That would allow Bitcoin to continue pushing. However, in this instance, if you break through this 6M level here in this little zone I've got marked off, you can see it's like your last local high. I would expect to see 105,788, which if you go out to the high time frames, you can see is where the dollar has been closing beneath on a material closing basis on this time frame. So that's an important level to have. However, if you look a little bit beyond that, you notice you can wick above it. You have some untapped, pivots or averages of price from prior time frames that statistically generally get hit. So if we start breaking above 104,775 and 105.05, I start to lean towards the dollar might get that mean reversion everyone's been talking about, where it's like it can't just go straight down forever. Maybe it comes back and goes to like a local retrace. I would start eyeballing like 106, 107, and then we have to see what the markets are going to do. And if that's the case that's happening, I'm looking for this to play out a little bit more and have a little bit longer of a range. And then I'm just targeting the lows again, and maybe this puts in a bigger structure like a triangle or something, or even the gold pocket all the way down at the range low, which, I think a lot of people aren't really prepared for that. That's a 2015-16 style market at that point, where it's made a pretty significant low, come up short of its yearly average like it did back then, and then remained range bound for the remainder of the year. So that would imply the dollar is going to rip a little bit. But as of right now, obviously you don't do any volume work on this unless you're going to pay for that data through ATAS. The horizontals are good enough though. So if you're ever looking to get really good at charting, chart something like the DXY, where really oscillators don't actually matter, in my opinion. And in terms of trend, I'm tracking it as a quarterly basis. You can see that you've gone from the low of your developing trend all the way basically to the high. So it is letting you know that you're at resistance. It doesn't mean it can't push, but we need to see the dollar get rejected here and come back to this support and get through it if we want to see markets pump, basically. I don't think it's going to be good for anyone if the dollar continues up.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Well, at least in the crypto space, one of the things that and the reasons that we talk about prepping so much with Danger Close Alpha is because we want you to be prepared. And part of being prepared is knowing what you're doing with your money. We talk about being diversified. We talk about having a practical game plan. These are all very simple ideas that most people don't do. So this section of the video is sponsored by Danger Close Alpha. If you guys want to get out there, get yourself some beans, bullets, and bourbon, there's the QR code. We are minting at 0.01 right now for bullets, beans, and bourbon. Our artist works for DC Comics. You're not going to get better art, and you're not going to get an opportunity to win 5 Ethereum for less on the front end than you're paying with that, which is 0.01, which is like about $16. So make sure to check that out. Get involved. We'd love to have you guys as part of the community. That's a big part of what preparing is all about. If anyone ever tells you, and we've got some people on the stream right now that are into prepping as well, if anyone ever tells you that you can do it all on your own, be 100% self-sufficient and sustainable, I personally, unless you're living out in the middle of Alaska and with no one within sight, period, I think that
magic.
you do. Yeah, exactly, like magic.
I was going to say like Kansas.
Middle of Kansas, nowhere. Yeah, unless you're doing that.
I didn't want to dox them. I'll just,
it's all right. It's beautiful out here.
So yeah, just make sure that you're a part of a community. That's part of what we try to stress, is that you can't do everything on your own. Get other people involved. So back to the crypto space, or I should say, let's get into more the crypto space. It's 2023. Everybody's been talking about AI. AI is a buzzword, but it's more than a buzzword. It is emerging technology that is in play, happening right now, and you don't want to miss it. So what are some of the benefits of having AI, of having computers? Well, they're able to do work that otherwise maybe you or I don't have the time to do, so it speeds things up. And candidly, a lot of times AI is better than, I shouldn't say AI, the computers are better at making just a statistical analysis of a situation, which is what we try to do with charts. So one of the pros with that is your boy Crypto Blood. Blood, you have... you're doing quant trading, right? You've got Bloodlytics. Tell me what the computers are saying, because I think everybody in this day and age is interested to see what's the computer saying. What's the quant telling you?
Yeah, I want to go to that, but first I got to give a shout out to DCF. He told me to give the gun for Magic.
Hey, I'm protected.
There you go, Magic. That was for you, DCF. Yeah, man. So I don't have any AI. That's the thing. There's no AI with my systems. It's just, some proprietary ways of coming up with short-term movements. But if you bring up my window here, Keeper, I want to start off with the dollar. I know Magic talked about it. It's still important. Like, when you're doing TA, you still have to look at fundamentals.
Yep.
That helps guide, how much you put down on your TA move, up or down, long or short. So you have to always keep that in mind. But the dollar, man, the Dixie, 104.57, and we're right there at the precipice, right on the brink of taking out that 105 region, which I think is a very important area for us. And if we break that to the upside, Keeper, I think risk on assets head lower.
Okay.
Point. So you got to keep in mind what's going on there. Now, one other thing really quickly. Here's Bitcoin. We're above that channel there, the green channel you see there. Okay. But we're forming a new one. And the new one is really between, if I can bring, I always get these tools wrong. If I bring this up, it's right here. Okay, between 25K and 21 or 23. I'm sorry, $23,500 Bitcoin. So I think we're forming a new channel here. But if you zoom in really quickly here, you can see we had a rejection at this line. I drew this line maybe a few days ago. Okay, and this is on the 1 hour, so it doesn't mean that much, but it does. You have to give it some credit. So there's a rejection at that line. We tried to bid our way back up there. The market slammed us down. And now, I don't know, man. We're at the bottom of the channel. Do we head higher? Do we head lower? Who really knows? You just got to watch that trend line. If we get back above that trend line, it is green for the bulls, and we are heading higher.
Yeah.
At that point now, with the Bloodalytics, we are just back and forth, man. I mean, we're in that channel. This is the same channel that I showed you on the other chart, essentially right here. Bada boom, bada bing. And we're just trending and treading water right now. There was a big move that if you were manually trading, we did go live with the auto trading last week. I had some glitches.
Oh, is that live now?
Yeah, I had some glitches. And so we did not catch this on the auto trade, but if you were manually trading, you did catch this long here on last Monday that took us all the way up here. And that's when we started the new channel and we're consolidating into now. But I mean, I'm looking for another big move, and I think, Keeper, we head lower. I think we traverse this whole move up. That's how crypto likes to do.
Yep.
Right? Likes to get
play with your head a little bit.
Yeah, and then they'll do one of these Bart Simpson,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Okay. It is what it is. That's my TA for today.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Blood. I've been talking to a number of people about, seeing some lower price action. And when they ask me to defend it, my answer is always just, I fundamentally see problems in the world that we live in today because I don't dive head and hands into the TA like you guys do. So, hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I'll be happy to be wrong. We can continue up and to the right. My portfolio can continue to grow. Fantastic. But in the meantime,
I can't see it. I can't see us heading higher in any risk on asset like
right now. Yeah,
a real run up. I just can't. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. We are on the precipice, and I had this conversation. I put this tweet out yesterday on Twitter. I said we're on the precipice of World War III, and someone responded and said we're actually already in the makings of World War III. He's right. It's not a binary event. It doesn't happen just overnight. Someone just picks up the Zoom and says, "Oh, everyone, we're in World War III." No, it doesn't work like that. There are steps that lead up to it, and I think we've been doing that for a year now. Starting with Ukraine, you've got Taiwan. That whole situation can actually, I think, sucker punch us all and be possibly the catalyst to really ramping up on some World War III type situation between China, the U.S., China, and going against Australia. You got to understand Australia has their hand in the whole Taiwanese situation as well. So there are like two conflicts, as you guys know, that's going on right now that we need to really, I think it's over our heads. I don't see us hitting higher.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you 100%. We are tap dancing effectively with these other countries right now. We're kind of playing touch and go, trying to figure out where are we at, where are you at. People are mobilizing that haven't mobilized in a while. And so for me, these things are, a lot of people joke about me being the politics keeper. Well, these things really do matter, obviously. If we would actually declare that we are in a world war, I can tell you right now, at least temporarily, the markets are everyone's going to get absolutely scared out of their mind, and the markets will go crazy. Now, I've been told, and I don't remember, I don't think I was in the markets when back in 2000, late 90s to 2000. No, I wasn't. I've been told that actually there are a lot of sectors besides just, obviously defense, where you can make a lot of money during that time period. But everybody's worried about, obviously, the safety of our country, our economy. And
no,
so,
not everyone. Clearly,
well,
the politicians don't give two rats' asses about safety. What they're doing, it makes no sense. We got Biden over here in Ukraine when we got a train wreck of epic proportions in your neighborhood, Keeper, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yep.
This is nonsense, bro.
Oh yeah,
absolute nonsense.
Lots of nonsense, and we've seen a lot of that from this administration, from a lot of different administrations. So I guess we'll see I'll see where we're headed at some point. I'm looking forward to some changes. I hope. I think that's the best way that I can put it. So, hey, I just want to take a brief second. It is tax season. Okay. This show is sponsored by our tax guy. I just want to throw do I got to pull this down? Hold on a second. Maybe I got to change the format here. Man. I gotta kick two people off real quick. Magic and Bill, you're going away for just a second. I promise you'll be right back. All right. So this portion of the show is actually the entire show is sponsored by Price CPA. I'm telling you right now, exactly what I've told everybody else. This isn't about me trying to sell you on a tax guy. This is about me telling you, you need to figure it out. And most accountants have no freaking idea what they're doing. And you deliver them a whole bunch of trading that you've been doing or just crypto in general. And accountants will save you. They are worth their weight in gold. I found that out in business. And now I'm finding that out being involved in the crypto space. So all I can say is Anthony Price that owns Price CPA. He's dope. He's great to work with. And he is an expert in the crypto space. That's what you need. It can save you tens of thousands, if not more dollars, depending on what kind of trading, investing, long-term hodling, short-term hodling, doesn't matter what it is. I'm telling you right now, get involved, get somebody that understands the tax.
Defer 100% of tax crypto. What did that say there? Defer 100% of crypto something in perpetuity.
Hold on. There we go. Offer 100% of capital gains in perpetuity. Now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's been fantastic. We're super glad to have him as part of the team. And
shout out to Mr. Sakila. He said what? Tax, ... lost my private keys, ...
Hey, listen, I understand people lose things in boating accidents. I'm here for it. But at the same time, do the right thing, do your taxes. You got to pay the man. That just is what it is.
I was going to say, I got a tax guy. I would definitely do it. I was looking over my numbers coming into today. I'm already at 79 trades for the year on just one.
79 trades. What do you mean? 79 trades last week, Magic, or what?
No, for the year of 2023 so far. So through January and February. That's just one scalp account too. That's not including the other 5 that I run. In swing trades. And so if you guys don't have a tax guy and you're not tracking this stuff, like you can get in some trouble because it's on the blockchain. It's not exactly hidden, Yeah.
Exactly. And on top of it not even being hidden, let's take even the blockchain out of it. I have a guy that was doing work for me that just basically flat out didn't do taxes for a while, and he has been paying for a long time so as not to go to prison. So do the right thing, do your taxes. Everybody hates it. I know taxation is theft. Listen, I'm with it. I'm here for all of it. I am, but just do the right thing. And check out Price CPA. All right, cool. So let's dive into the macro side of things. Bitcoin. We've been playing. It feels like we've been playing around. We made some decent little moves up. While I was in Brazil, we had a big jump, I think, and I don't know if we quite touched it, but 26, 27, somewhere in there. I didn't see the exact numbers, but we had a nice move. We then came back, started playing around with 25. Now we're playing around with 24. So let me ask, Magic, right off the rip, are we ultimately headed back down, do you think, right now? Or could we possibly be looking at another pump?
You could get one more stab up, I think, but that goes out the window if you lose 22, 8, 10, 50.
Okay.
I think at that point, you're probably looking at a larger range, and I would be targeting closer to like 20K and then, 18, 19K after that.
Okay. Is that kind of your overall thought process, though? Like, are you saying, hey, we might get a little bit of a push up, but overall, kind of the next little bit, you're thinking we're headed towards the downside?
I still think we see 22, 8, 10. However, we left some lows today. So there's some liquidity down beneath us there. Okay. My bias is you can't really be looking for like swing longs. Like I've been taking longs in this range because, there's like local ranges and trades you can make. Those are day trades. So those are different. You're in and out of the market. Your risk is a little bit less there. So I'm pretty neutral up here because it hasn't quite fulfilled out my statistical targets yet. And we still have a bit of time for those to play out according to what I've calculated. So for me, if it gives us another pump to 26 or 27, I'm not going to be looking to long that breakout or anything. I don't think that's a wise idea in this case. So I do think that at some point, whether it's now or in a couple weeks, we are going to see a larger return back to support. So, I think it was WD Gann said, one of the things he always preached was you don't try to catch the last eighth of a move. And I think that's kind of where we are in terms of like a local starting point for, an uptrend. And if we're going to have a larger uptrend, it's probably not going to do what it did in 2019 in this environment, in my opinion. However, if it does it and I'm wrong, I'm still positioned from lower. I'm holding that long from 16.6. It's a no threat. So there's no reason for me to want to close it. So I'm going to let it ride and I'll play the game,
So with this being debate crypto, I got to ask Bill, Blood, either of you kind of want to debate that, or you guys kind of on the same page?
No, I can't debate that. I'm with them. I think we head lower. Again, it's just what we have as risk fundamentally, from a geopolitical standpoint, and even from an economic standpoint. Our economy is not doing well. I'm sorry. So I don't care what they say, how they spin it, how they pad the numbers, then do a revision 2-3 weeks later, and it's totally different. This is nonsense, bro. I don't know what the hell, what country we live in now. It's gotten so bad. I don't know, man.
I'm with you.
Someone else got to help me out. I'm confused.
I can maybe put it together.
Put it together.
All right.
Let's get it.
I'm reaching the Pepto. Magic's talking about 106, 107, and clearly Blood is right about the geopolitical situation. So here's an idea. One of the hardest things to do, like let's just call it a bull market just for amusement's sake. The hardest thing to do in any market is wait and do nothing. So my thesis is, and when I look at some of my charts, just to keep it, simple, right? You may wake up and something might happen like as a flash, right? Like there may be a geopolitical event, or, the geopolitical event sends the dollar to 106 because that's the only reason I can think of to buy the dollar, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But that creates an event in crypto that is very scary, but very typical of bull markets. Like say in the 90s in equities, it would be down, huge down day, and then come back, right? Like, I would call it like a flash crash.
Yeah.
So, I got a DeMark chart here. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? I mean, this count means this is the first part of the downtrend, and nothing is happening here to lead me to believe that this is going to reverse to 25. Obviously, if it did, awesome. But the risk may be down here to 21, meaning all of the people who FOMO'd in up here get washed out, which again, in trends is not atypical. I mean, bull markets can hurt you as bad as bear markets.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether you think it's trending up or trending lower, both of my colleagues are right in the sense that, something bad could happen. I'm just wondering if it's something that happens all at once.
Yeah.
Right. And that gives you that flash event where you're too scared to buy the dip, even though you should, because the flash event brings an end to the Fed tightening follies.
Yeah. I will say real quick, and I Magic, I think you're about to jump in on this. Maybe if I could, I don't know what's going on. Can you? I don't know why my mouse is doing me dirty right now. So what I was going to say was one of the hardest things that I ever did, and I've talked about it a number of times, was to buy the COVID dip, and I did, and it was scary as heck, and it was the best thing I ever did. Right. That being said, if we have an event that we're talking about, those are the times where you decide, hey, do I believe we're going to turn back around at some point? What do I do in this case? And I think that it's a tough,
to compare the COVID dip that you bought to any move or event that happens in the future, I think would be an error. And the reason is because with the COVID dip, those are unprecedented times. We've never seen anything like that in hundreds of years.
I'm talking about a world war.
No, yeah. What I'm saying is with COVID, what happened after COVID? What was the response from the leaders, from all the nations? They printed so much money, bro.
Yeah.
So much money. So the reaction, the cause effect from that is a lift in all assets.
Yeah, I feel you.
So with the World War III, I don't, like you said, defense stocks will do well. Some
commodities will do really well.
Right. Gold will do well, precious metals. But to see a full lift in equities, I don't. And like crypto, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I could
see
Bitcoin.
Are you setting up an opportunity?
Oops, but not anything else. Not the only reason I say that is if the whole world went to that scenario where we're talking World War III, if you've got something that's completely immutable on a ledger and you can do transactions with it anywhere, it actually adds to the value of it. However, we don't know how it'll react in that situation. It's still very speculative. So we don't know. And maybe that's the catalyst we need, kind of like you're talking about on a dip, where it's like we had that flash event where it's like something drove people to a new asset. Maybe that could happen, but it's all speculative. It's the worst case scenario. You don't really want to think about it. I'm not going to be sitting there going, I'm going to buy the dip if World War III breaks out. I'm going to probably sit.
So hold on. Let's go through. Let me ask. So I'm gonna start off with me. If World War III breaks out, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm buying the dip. I'm just telling you, I'm buying the dip. Wow. All right. Blood. You buying the dip or no?
No, I'm not buying the dip.
So a major crash on Bitcoin.
Listen, I'm buying bullets, beans,
and bourbon.
Cornbread. Cornbread. I'm buying some cornbread. No, but seriously, what Magic made a point that I just want to highlight really quickly before you go in the bill. He's right. Like Bitcoin and blockchain is great in the scenario where we're kind of like offline, not offline, but like offline, like banking systems are down and everything. Yes, that's true. But where's the true market value for crypto in that scenario? Is it higher? Is it here? Is it lower? We don't know. That's the part. Yes, the utility part will be excellent in that scenario for sure for Bitcoin. But truly, without speculation involved and just utility of Bitcoin, where's the price of Bitcoin? And that's just I don't know. I'm just
gonna eat your cornbread, boy.
I'm going to eat my cornbread.
All right, he's eating his cornbread.
Here's a geopolitical angle. Sometimes really bad things happen when no one expects them to. And when people expect them to, they sometimes don't happen. Like, for example, at the 1-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine, you would expect something to happen. Maybe it doesn't. Perhaps maybe in the fall, when you get Rectember and Rocktober, right, your traditional equities crash period, that may be when Mr. Putin says, you know what, I'm done with this and I'm turning Ukraine into a parking lot with a tactical nuke. Right. So, that could be after a summer rally. So in the short term, the markets can climb the wall of worry with flash crashes along the way. It's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, well, you can expect trouble, but you trade the trouble when no one expects it. So I don't know if we're there now or we're there later. I'm just throwing out there that if you're going to get a shock, it'll be when no one expects it. It's a random thought.
Yeah, very true. And I don't think anyone is not expecting some chaos to continue in the world that we live in today. I think it's how do we respond to it, and I like that, the immediate, response was like, hey, though blockchain's a beautiful thing, what we were just talking about, Do we have any idea how it holds up? Do we have any idea how long? You know, the war situation now, unfortunately, would be an unprecedented type of war, and it would very likely be the N word, the nuclear type, and nobody wants that. We got to take a brief pause. Little Miss Addison wants to remind everybody she just woke up. Her hair looks beautiful, huh, baby? Mwah. She wants to remind everybody to get your hardware wallet. She's stacked up on ETH and her hardware wallet. She got a little bit of Bitcoin too, but mainly ETH. And she wants to come in and tell everybody hi. Hi, baby. Can you say hi to everybody? You got Piggy and you got Piggy, baby, Monkey, and Ray Ray. You got all of them. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
I love you. Here, baby. Here, you gotta take it. I'm
Every
kicking you
time
out.
I see her, bro, I think of the E-Trade baby. Every freaking time.
All right. So, yeah, how does the world respond to that? So let's not continue down that path. Let's talk about it right now. So we have 3 people on the panel, 4 people on the panel, including myself, that believe that we are in for, you know, possibly some rocky times. Might have a little bit of a push up, then a push back down. And ETH usually follows that trend. Is the Bitcoin and ETH chart. So Magic, if you would, can you pull up the ETH chart and or the Bitcoin and kind of, are they still kind of coinciding, or are we getting some sort of a different move from ETH? What's that looking like? You are muted, kind sir.
I know, I boomered it. Let me get off Matic real quick. We'll go over to ETH. ETH is a pretty simple chart for me. You're in a much larger range. I'm going to get rid of this. This was for a different demonstration previously. This is essentially just your 2023 data, all kind of like grouped together. So you've got a large range here. You're hanging on to this point of control. And 1677 is a key horizontal. And so what I mean by that is, again, we always start on the high time frames and we zoom out a little bit. And if you look over here on the monthly chart, you have not been back above this on a monthly closing basis at $1,677.60. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 months. You've not closed above that on a monthly basis. So if you want anything to happen on Ethereum, just like you need to see 24,700 on Bitcoin, okay? There's 24/7 on Bitcoin. You're not closing above that on a weekly basis. And I'll get rid of all this other junk on here. So you can see right here, that has been the level, and it's still the level. Ethereum is in a very similar position. And then if you zoom out again to the July high up here at 1785, you have another one of those situations where, again, people are being trapped at these levels above 1677 and 1785, and then price returns to the low of the range, ultimately getting rid of those traders at some point, washing them out of the market, and it rinses and repeats. This is the life cycle of a range. So if you want to see anything on Ethereum, you have to reclaim 1,677. Then you've got the quick $100 move to 1785. Anything above that, and I'm shooting for about 1988 at that point. And then I think that that's where we can really gauge, is this going to be a greater rally or not? But your trigger is 1677 into February, pushing above that level and getting follow through. That's what you need to see. If you don't see that, you've got to start looking back down to support. And a big one for me is that prior all-time high. It's also a merged value area low, meaning that if we took a bunch of different range data and put it all into one level, this came at 1418. It's also the last 6 months of price. So from July 1st to December 31st, it's the average of price for that entire segment. So there's a lot here to say that if price can't push through here and comes back to this more local average, right around like the 1500 range, you may make that extra $100 dip down into this support. And at that time, it needs to be support, because if you lose this area of the chart, it typically doesn't bode well. You're typically coming back down in this like 11, 1200, maybe even $1,000 range. And then it looks more like Bitcoin, like we were talking about, where it's more, you know, just a range. So continuation is the name of the game for all assets right now. And they need to get that going, and they need to see the dollar start to retrace, because it is at resistance. Just like Blood said, if we get above that like 105 area, I would expect a bigger push, and I would expect to see these assets coming back to these levels. And I am in the camp that if this is truly a bigger range, which I think it is, I think those are opportunities. You know, you have to have your plans and be able to take advantage of that when it occurs. And so that's how I view it. Is I'm willing to buy in these regions. I'm definitely not willing to buy here. I've already made my allocations. I'm not looking for new positions here. I'm only looking to take some profits and then recycle those back in at better opportunities later. And so, that's the mindset that I have. And so I do think it's a lot like Bitcoin in this case, where we could see this up and down range. However, like I said, continuation is the name of the game. If it gets continuation from here, we have upside targets that we can still trade off of and take trades from later when we have that data. We just don't have it right now. So hopefully that helps.
Good to see. Yeah, no, thank you very much, Magic. I do want to throw out there for everybody. First of all, smash the likes. We got 78 people in here. We love each and every one of you. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I do know that some people were having issues with getting some messages through on the chat. So I just want to apologize to everybody. I've got a few messages that are saying, hey, can't see, what I'm saying in the chat. So I do apologize. We'll check with the YouTube overlords on that and see what the heck is going on. I really am not sure. That being said, I also wanted to, let me see here. Give me 1 second. If I could pull this up.
I want to say one thing while you do that.
Yeah.
Wick 58.9 in your chat said, I hope it doesn't, he's referring to Bitcoin, should act as a commodity, not a speculative asset. And, I do look at Bitcoin as digital gold. So hopefully it does. But again, just because it acts as gold, and it should, the utility aspect, what does it translate in a non-speculative scenario where we actually need to use Bitcoin and not just like make money off of it, trading back and forth? Where is that price? That's the question.
Yeah, and we've been, that question right there has been part of why people have wanted to see a spot ETF, because there's a lot of big money that wants to be involved without being like directly exposed to Bitcoin. And I guess I'm interested to see when that happens, not if it happens. I'm interested to see that when that happens, if we're going to see a big move in the market, or and for me, I think it depends on when that happens. If it happens right now, maybe not so much. We've had some pretty big news and not seen a big move from Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I think if we're on the way up and continuing on the way up and we get some news like that, I think it could be huge. All right, so let me ask this. Let's see. Bill, what are you so we know kind of macro what everyone's thinking. Are you doing any sort of trading? And I want to toss out in the chat also, if you guys want an off-the-cuff TA, toss one out there. Toss an altcoin at us. We're going to do it here in just a minute. But Bill, what are you kind of thinking shorter term? Do you have any trades that you're looking at? Any opportunities? What have you been looking at?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So here's a thesis. Okay, it's very simple. Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, ex-Goldman, just acquired an institutional crypto custody firm. You don't spend $44 million on something unless institutions want to own crypto. So if this thing does flash event lower, barring the end of the world, ask yourself this.
It only happens one time.
I know.
You're not going to need your money at that point anyway. Like I said, buy the dip.
When it goes down, right? Who is going to be down there taking your crypto off your hands if you panic? Mike Novogratz's guys in the institutions, because as an alternative asset, as an alternative form of money, I think they want it and I want it. Now, my sort of dream scenario, even though I do think ETH is going to outperform, I'm wondering if this flash event can't go down to 1482. Like I said, the hardest thing to do is wait. So another example in DeMark work, it's pretty simple, right? The 13 top, right? That's a quantitative signal for warning trend ending. It went right to sort of the blow off top level that system gives you, like to the number. And then it starts to count the other way, essentially confirming the top. In English, theoretically, you could have 6 more down days in ETH. Now, it's really hard to like the market, watch it trade terribly, and say, all right, sometime in the next 6 days, I'm going to wait to get my flush, hoping that either the market doesn't take off in my face or it doesn't crash and go to zero, that when I buy the dip, it doesn't, it's not catching the falling knife. I want to grab this thing on a panic dip below 1,500. So if I had to do something, that's what I would do.
Below 1,500, man. You know, I got to say, Bill, I love the fact that you're looking to buy more Ethereum. We love that. I could see ETH going a lot lower than that. This is just me personally. I feel like we still have some maybe even, this might sound crazy, I would not be surprised to see us test the previous lows that we were at not just a couple months ago. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Rest of the panel, Magic, Blood. Let me ask you first. Does that sound like a crazy idea to you to test those lows again? Or are you thinking when you say we go lower that we're going to hit that and go lower? Are you kind of thinking we're going to get near it? Where's kind of your overall idea on that? You're muted.
Okay. I base everything off of Bitcoin. And then everything is amplified 2x, whatever, 2.5x in the same direction that Bitcoin goes. So just base it on Bitcoin. My low on Bitcoin, the target is around 12,000. I think that's where Mr. Elmo is. Let me see if I can pull him up really quickly. Where is he? There he is.
And Crusader, this is not based on TA. He said, Keeper, show us your TA on that statement. It ain't based on TA. I already told you it's based on fundamental.
12,
it's based on fundamentals, baby.
Yeah,
Crypto Pollo said, Keeper making me excited. Go ahead. What'd you say?
12,600 range is where Elmo is. And we're just waiting on him.
I didn't see you had that pulled up. Take me loose.
Yeah. So that's my target. And then from there, you know.
There's your TA. There's your TA, Crusader. There's your Elmo TA. He was asking for the TA on it. He's right there.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. I am looking. Let me see here. Why is my screen?
If we got Bitcoin at 12K, Keep's going to need a helmet to go with that vest. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm rocking out and ready. I'm clearing out everything.
Unbelievable.
I'm clearing out everything I can. We start getting down to those numbers again. I'm telling you. And when I say that, I mean it. I'm not the guy. Oh, well, let's wait for it to go a little lower.
I need you to put it on Twitter. I need you to put it on.
That's right. You need to see some live. You need to see some live action happening.
I bought it. I bought today, ladies and gents.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I think I'm about to be using some blood-alytics on the auto option.
Yeah,
man.
We need
to have
that ready, man.
We need to have a discussion about that.
ChatGPT for helping me code in Python and
Hold on
JavaScript.
Did you use ChatGPT for that?
Yeah. I've never coded in Python. Very rarely use JavaScript. So yeah, I was able to code everything in Python and JavaScript, put it on the server, and it got all connected to the API.
And it worked. And it worked it up.
No, it took me 2.5 weeks to do.
But
what I'm never.
But you would have never been able to do that without something like ChatGPT. I mean,
never.
Same with that'd be like me saying I was going to code something to be a joke. Crusader's probably laughing in his chair right now. It's just not something you're going to see me doing. So that's really interesting. All right, so I was asking from the chat for an alt, and I'm going to go with the one that I just saw right now. This might be the first one that somebody threw out. There might have been 100, but we're going to go with B Baker in the house. Analyze Quant, QNT. Who wants to grab Quant, gentlemen?
I can do Quant. I got a Quant chart. I'm trading Quant quite a bit, so it's a good trading.
Perfect.
Point. We'll take a look at it. All right.
Here we go.
Ignore the mess. Ignore the noise. You've got some ranges that we're looking at, obviously, right here. However, again, we're going to look at this from purely just a horizontal level standpoint. Again, going out to the 3-month chart. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I gave these levels way in advance, 145 being your pit stop, looking for 166 potentially, getting out above 160. You hit 163.15. So all profits were hit on this trade. And I've re-entered on the bounce at the quarterly lows when we came into the value area low, and I've exited that trade again. But again, 145 right here. Okay, so you can see that you don't have a change of behavior yet. What are we doing above 145? They're sellers. Okay, if we start closing like monthly candles above this, we can take a look at like 178 potentially. But you can see that you have closed a monthly above it previously, and then once you gave it all back up, you know that you're coming back down to these lows at that time. You have to realize that. So you really need to see the high time frames start to convert on this chart. Otherwise, you've got a really clear inflection point right here between 113 and 124. If that level is lost, let's say there is a pullback in the market, Bitcoin pulls back to like 19K or something, which I don't think the end of the world is there. You're probably going to be giving this box up, and below this box is essentially $94 and then all of these stop losses. So just like Ethereum, if you don't hold on to 1409 or 1418, the lows are probably coming, because look how many times you've taken the lows here. You've taken zero liquidity out of this market. So eventually, this is how trend lines are.
Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows.
Yeah, but no stop loss is taken. So where is everyone's stop loss? It's below these lows. So if you start breaking back below this region of the chart, you're going to also be taking these stops. That's how you get these cascading events. And I would expect to probably make a new low. And I would really realistically be targeting this one right here. I'd be going all the way back to the beginning of the pattern, looking
72
down.
bucks.
72 down to like $63. That's an opportunity to me. I am looking at Quant as a much larger range. The Quant range this is one that I've been making videos on since it was up here. I gave the short, said I'd be shorting this one down all the way underneath $200 when it was up here in the 400 range. Got a lot of hate mail for that one.
I'll bet you did, because people love their Quant too.
Dude, there were people, they were like, no, it'll be 10,000 by Christmas. I was like, bro, right,
10,000.
Yeah, dude. I almost got banned from YouTube on that one again for responding to those comments. But but when you look at this, you have a really clear setup. And I call this the fun folder. And these are really hypothetical ideas. So the idea of this is, again, I've seen some people in the chat say you want to buy the fear. And a lot of times that's the case. However, you also want to have a plan. So right now we've got some support we need to monitor. We've also got this really key pivot here at 145. Get above 145. I expect to see 178, potentially this level again. Now, if we don't see that in terms of a harmonic structure, I have this listed as idea only for a reason. I've been looking for something like this for a while. So this isn't timed out correctly, obviously, but I'm looking for this to make this move down eventually on that pullback and get this opportunity again here at the lows, knowing that we haven't taken any of these lows. And then I want to take it all the way back up to range highs and fill out these inefficiencies, forming a much larger pattern. And one thing about coins like Quant, ADA is the same way. When they pump this hard, the XRP is a perfect example. When you have a coin that goes this parabolic, oftentimes the drawdown and the range that occurs afterwards is very, very large and long. Very similar to how Bitcoin came down from 20K when it went from 150 bucks to 20K. Yeah, there he goes. It's exactly right. So, $150 low in 2015 for Bitcoin or whatever it was, all the way up to 20K, comes all the way back down to 3K, and then goes to 14, then to 3K. But that all spans from 2018 all the way to 2020, a 2-year range. So people are going to have to be patient with this one, I think. I think that even looking for this out into the end of the year, when this is the completion time for this, is really ambitious. So, is the recipe there? Potentially, yes. But locally, I'm only willing to allocate money to this one in this region. I'm willing to trade it otherwise. But, we were able to buy down here at $40, which I think was the low. I was looking for this right here. I missed the timing on it by like 2 days, but it was the global point of control at $40.40. That was, again, another publicly given level almost 6 months in advance of this is what we'll be looking for. Those videos are still on TikTok, So this is where I was getting my entries. And then this, ironically, we were looking for this for the exit. And now I'm looking to see entries again underneath 100 if given. Otherwise, I'll trade the levels because it is a nice trading coin and you don't need any leverage to trade it. The moves on it are very excellent. Like if you go out to the quarterly chart on this, you can see you've got like a clear range here, but then we'll just apply a volume profile because it's very easy to do. And there you go. So what did you do when you came down on this dip? Straight into the value area low. You had support beneath you that you knew was there. You buy here, you sell at the point of control at your major horizontal. You get back out of the market. It's an easy 10 to 15%, just straight, no leverage needed. So Quant, am I bullish on it in the long term? Yeah, I think it's got a really big range. It's going to fill out eventually. But so for me, anything down in this box or below, I'm going to start looking at with interest, engaging the rest of the market. Like I got to see what Bitcoin's doing, what's the SPX doing, what's policy doing, because we just had some really bad inflation data, which isn't the end all be all. The macro is not the end all be all, but it wasn't really bad. It was just now the conversation of maybe we go to higher terminal rates is being had. I think Crypto Blood said that he was positive we'd get at least another 50 on top of what we already got the last 25. So he'll
you see they're changing, right? It's coming.
Hey, no, I mean, you changed with the data. That was a good call because like it came out a little bit worse than expected. Now there's some talks that they might do another 50 basis points on the next hike because they think the job market.
That shocked me. I didn't think they would do it the next hike, but I for sure know we're getting another 50 before the year ends. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I just say make your long-term plans, guys. Make it make sense to you. And for me, that's what makes the most sense on Quant. I'm willing to trade this in this region. I'm not willing to long-term allocate until we're back down at these lows. I want to see those stop losses run in the market washed out a little bit. It's all about patience.
Patience. I want to throw out there for those of you that are newer to trading, and we're going to give you all the information on this, moving forward here soon. We don't have the whole thing set up, but we are going to be doing a private seminar where you can interact. Magic's going to be doing an intro to technical analysis with us. So there's going to be limited seats. You will be able to interact directly. I think we've got it set up so that you can actually do video to video if you want to, have your face seen as well. We'll give you more information on that, but make sure to look out for that, especially if you are just trying to get introduced to TA. I know that when I first came into the crypto space and I started paying attention to any sort of technical analysis, the whole thing was right. Now, admittedly, because I don't trade a ton, there's still stuff that goes on my very own show that goes right. However, as I continue to be invested and involved in the markets, technical analysis is a big piece of that, and understanding that it is part of the math, part of the of what I'm looking at long term to see kind of where things are headed short term and or long term. And so if you're looking to kind of get a starting point, if you're looking to, maybe you're just getting in and you're trying to make sense of all of this, make sure to check that out. We will give you the information as it comes out. All right, crypto fans. So let's do a little lightning round here. 2 questions. 1, 2023, bullish or bearish from the point that we're at now? So are we going to be higher or lower from where we're at now by the end of the year? Second question is for the new trader, just one tip. I like to give the new people a nice little tip on trading. So I will kick it off with you, Magic. So what do you think? 2023 by the end of the year, we lower or higher than we're at now?
That's a tough one, but I think that I think we'll probably be relatively, possibly even in the same spot if we're going to remain range bound. I think we'll be inside of this range. However, I keep saying that if we are going to see this recession that everyone's talking about that's coming, the timing on that is the second half of the year. We've been talking about that it's probably going to be something that occurs in the second half of the year. So I'd be more cautious than not right now. I'm not looking to add any risk on positions at this current juncture. I want to see lower prices before I'm willing to put more money back into the market. I've already made my allocations. So for me, I would say I hope lower, to be honest with you. I would love another stab at the lows because I have taken some profits and, made some money, and I'd like another chance to do more of that. So I'm going to say lower by the end of the year, unless we get that crazy Q4 rally, which could happen. It very well could happen. So,
Billiam, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I'll pick higher.
Okay.
I think it's summer rally followed by October crash. So I'm going to assume the summer rally is going to take us past where we're at, but I agree with my colleagues. You could wind up the year exactly where you're at after traveling much higher. Okay. So, that's how I would plot out 2023. I think the way I'm saying it is you got to make money over the summer and you got to get while the getting's good, because eventually there's going to be an event that stops the Fed. The Fed will continue until they break something. And I think the yield curve is telling you that they are going to be breaking something soon. Advice for the young traders: make them sell it to you at a good price. Okay. Everybody said Bitcoin was done when it was below 20. You had 6 months to get it below 20. And everyone was like, Then it went up and everyone's like, oh my God, I can't wait to get it below 20. Okay. Be careful what you wish for, because blood's right. If you're looking to buy, make them sell it to you at a good price. Waiting is the hardest thing.
I'm with it. Patience has been my absolute nemesis, so I'm with it. What you got, Blood?
Put my screen up for me. This is where we're going: up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right.
A, B, start. That's the contra. That's the contra cheat code, right?
Yeah, that's where we're going, ladies and gents. I just gave you the secret sauce. If you didn't know,
The secret sauce takes us back to the days of Nintendo. Most of you are probably too young to understand the joke that just happened. I appreciated it. My old butt appreciated it.
I think really quickly though, I actually agree with them. I think we're going to be like right around where we are now, but I think we're going to see a big dip lower and a rebound. So where that dip happens, again, I personally think 12,600 is probably the low in this cycle, in this bear cycle. So I think we get a wick down, and then eventually by the end of the year, we're right back where we are, somewhere around there. Right. My advice for new traders: risk management. That's the number one thing. 2 to 3%, 2 to 5% max risk per trade. Yeah. Whatever initial capital you have, and that's how you stay in the game. Yep. If you don't have any gas, you can't drive to your destination.
You're right about that.
You got one date for Bill.
What did you say?
I got one date for Bill. Bill said he wants the summer rally, and I've actually got a plan for that too. If there is one, I timed it out. I have July 17th, Bill. If you're looking for the summer rally, that's the date that I've got coming in as a 1-to-1.
Well, can you not be more specific? Can I get like a time of the day? Like this is kind of just benign.
There's a video of me on TikTok where back when I was on speaking terms with the good old crypto weatherman, and I woke up at 2 a.m. to my alerts because I had timed out when the low of the range was going to be using fib time, and I just used negatives on it so that I could actually like project out to the future a little better. Woke up at 2 a.m. to make a video publicly telling him that the low was in and that I had timed it out in advance and showed him the chart from the 2 days prior. And it was the low. It was the exact low of that range. It was hilarious. So it can be done. Just you have to like have a really small window of time to do that. It's tough, but
that's freaking fantastic. I love that. I wish I would have seen that one. Maybe I have to scroll back and take a peek at that on the old tiki-taki. Well, Crypto Fam, we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You could be anywhere on a Thursday, but you are here on Debate Crypto. I want to leave you with a couple things before we go. Just as a reminder, once again, make sure to do your taxes. Price CPA, check him out. He has been very helpful to us, and he's going to be very helpful to you. Don't get yourself in trouble by not doing what you know you should do. Just do your taxes, do your thing, and get involved with somebody that understands the crypto space like Anthony Price does as it relates to taxes. Secondly, every one of these gentlemen, these fine gentlemen on the stream, has been spending their time here on a pretty much a weekly basis in one way or another. Either Blood's on our channel, we'll go on to his channel. Bill Noble's on at least once or twice a week. Magic is on at least once a week. So they are spending time to bring value to each and every one of you. While we appreciate it, Debate Crypto, I think all of the people in here can show that appreciation by doing what they're about to ask. So Magic, where do you want people to go? Tell the people where they're headed.
Yeah, go to leadingcrypto.io. It's got all our socials on there. We operate 2 channels. I'm live every morning, Monday through Friday for the public. We do live analysis. We do give trades occasionally if they're available. And that is on my channel, Magic Internet Money. And then we have a backup channel, Leading Crypto, that we also host on. So
fantastic, dude. You guys should check that out. There's a lot of good alpha over there. Mr. Noble, where can the people get the alpha from you, good sir?
Well, my new YouTube channel is Crypto Noble, or at Crypto Noble, since they went to a handle-based system.
Yeah.
Market update Monday through Friday, 3 shorts a day, and Crypto_Noble on Twitter. Always a pleasure to come on and see you guys.
Love it, dude. Appreciate you for coming on as always. And then the notorious Crypto Blood. What you got going on?
Hey, yeah, man. Bloodalytics.com. We are now auto trading fully. So you don't have to make those trades. We have the signal making them for you. So finally, thank God.
We're about to have a conversation about
that. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Hit me up there. And also I will be on Around the Blockchain at 5:00 today. So
heck yeah. As well. Make sure to get the plus ones rocking for your boy Blood in appreciation. Hey, listen, subscribe to all the channels. I'm telling you what, it will be well worth it. There's a reason that they are so good at what they do and have been able to make money. And although we're not here for financial advice, I can just say, if you are trying to learn how to do something and other people are successful at it, they might know something that you don't know. And that's what we want to provide, is value to each and every one of you. So again, Crypto Fam, we love you. We appreciate you for being here. As always, just remember to question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon. Thanks, guys.